Geek Myths, a novel about life, love, and the pursuit of sonic screwdrivers. Available in paperback and Kindle edition from Amazon.
Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. This time we're talking about the Paternoster Heratage One, not Volume 1, oh no, despite the fact that this is, of course, Volume 1. Except, of course, it's not really Volume 1, is it? Because we've already had March 8th. And we've also had, the Churchill years, which had Madame Vastra in it, and we've had Jago and Lightfoot and Strax, which had Strax in it. No sign of Jenny turning up randomly. So, this is their third outing, but it's their first outing altogether. And boy, oh boy, am I glad. Yes, there are some possible holes in this glorious love fest. Let's face it, it is brilliant. I'm not going to say anything other than that. So you can go in now. Do you want me to do some more? Well, I can if you want. Here's the synopsis for the box. Victorian London harbours many secrets. Alien visitors, strange phenomenon, and unearthly powers. But a trio of investigators stands ready to delve into such mysteries. The great detective, Madame Vastra, her resourceful spouse, Jenny Flint, and their loyal valet, Strax. If an impossible puzzle needs solving, or a grave injustice needs righting, help can be found on Paternoster Row. But even heroes never escape their past. Story number 1, The Cars That Ate London by Jonathan Morris. The advent of electric carriages on London streets causes a stir until they start careening out of control. Elsewhere, factory workers lose their senses, while a brand new power plant suffers mysterious outages. Genius industrialist Fabian Solak has a vision of the future, free from pollution, running on clean electricity, but Madame Vastra knows such ideas are ahead of their time. So, we've got this box set. It's got 3 stories. Yes, 3, not 4. And you know what? It's brilliant. Yes, we've got The Cars That Ate Paris being reworked as The Cars That Ate London. But you know what? If you listen to the extras, the author had the same book that I had when I was a kid, which had a massive page spread of The Cars That Ate Paris, which had a Volkswagen Beetle trying to eat someone in a corner. Back someone into a corner on that one and then eat them. That's what we imagined was happening. Nobody ever got to see the film. It was one of those obscure ones, the sort of thing that would be on, I don't know, Moviedrome with Alex Cox, and I'm so rambling. But this is so much better than the March 8th story. There's no swords. And you know, I don't want to sound picky, right? Do you remember when you watched Voyager? Yeah, Voyager. Remember that? And as the seasons went on, it basically became the 7 of 9 and Doctor show. Yeah, there were stories about, Chakotay and everyone else. It got boring. And, Tom Paris has found someone love interest again, but really should be getting with it. All that business. But all you were really interested in was, hey, it's the Doctor. Hey, it's 7 of 9. Again and again and again. Right. The problem with these stories is you could so easily write for Strax constantly and just have the Strax comedy half hour. Because every single story's got some brilliant stuff. I mean, stuff that's so quotable it could end up on those ribbons you get at Gallifrey. Tea is an abomination! Don't start me with muffins. All that business. They're so quotable. So you've really got to watch yourself as a writer that you don't get caught up in these. So, you've got your 3 stories. The first one, brilliant. Obviously in the synopsis you've summed everything up. You've got your industrialist, you've got your Tesla-style villain, and you've got all sorts of Sontaran shenanigans. Now, story 2, Photographs to Remember by Roy Gill. Well, it's ghosts. What's not to like about ghosts? Here's the synopsis for that one. A Photograph to Remember by Roy Gill. The Paternoster gang are shocked to discover a rival group in the streets, a Sontaran, a Silurian and a human. Only their intentions are not quite so noble as Madame Vastra and friends. And when the recently photographed dead begin to return home, strangely altered, with the Bloomsbury bunch, will this Bloomsbury bunch be more of a help than a hindrance? Now, when I was listening to this, my whole fixation moments were on the actual ghosty storyline. And when the other characters turned up, I thought the fact that they existed was going to be something to do with ghostly images that were being reproduced. That's not the case. It's just a completely parallel thing that's apparently a joke. Now, it's got, yes, Mike from the New Ones and all that business going on. And it's slightly different relationships and the whole pecking order is different and everything, but they are basically 3 carriages. But they are it's just odd. I find it odd that this exists and they're not all wearing beards and they're not all twisted versions of the other characters. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, I think you do. So, that's one thing about it. Yes, there wasn't a Torchwood reference, but even Cardiff has aliens. So, the fact that he does other characters in the storyline, where he's, other characters voiced by other actors. There are some actors you shouldn't get to do them because his voice is so identifiable. Which brings us to story number 3, The Ghosts of Greenwich by Paul Morris. More ghosts, but not really. Well, sort of. Now, I must admit, I kind of got confused by this one. This is the closest to a Ripper story that there is. Look, here's the synopsis for this one. Strange things are happening to people of Greenwich. Phantoms of the living appear, while others are aged beyond their years. A cloaked figure stalks the streets, and time is out of joint. Vastra, Jenny and Strax find all clues point towards the meridian line. Beneath the Royal Observatory lies a secret, something terribly ancient and horribly dangerous. Look, I'm not going to say that this is my all-time favourite box set, but I am going to say that this was stormingly good to listen to. Perhaps I've been spoilt by how good the main range have been of late. I'm glad we've got Strax. It's hilarious. Dan Stark is brilliant, and to be fair, everybody is superb. I can't praise this one enough, and I hope it gets even better. Yes, it's going to be sad that we can't have Jago and Lightfoot turning up in these, but you know what? I don't mind. And I did have a rather stormingly good idea for how Jenny and everyone all get together, because that's not actually been covered. So a nice multi-Doctor box set that covers all of their earlier adventures using the classic Doctors would get my vote, but that's just not quite right. Just imagine Tegan and Nyssa turning up at the wedding. I know. Let's leave it there, shall we? Look, I've loved this box set. I can't wait for some more. Please give us more. Shut up and take my money. Here's the trailer, and decide for yourself. But as far as I'm concerned, brilliant. So until next time, be seeing you.
I am Madame Vastra.
I am Strax.
Jenny Flint. Thanks for asking.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions.
It's Inspector Cotton of Scotland Yard.
Don't tell me. Something terribly mysterious has occurred and he requests our urgent assistance.
It was just like a real person, only you could see right through it.
The Paternoster Gang, Heritage, Volume 1.
Ghosts are a long-standing and growing threat in this world. All the writing on the subject agrees.
That's fiction, Strax.
Call me a liar all you like. I know what I've read. It's a mystery beyond mortal comprehension.
You mean they're undead?
Yes, evidence. Dozens of them.
Auto-motes activated and commencing pursuit.
Look, one of Solak's electric cars. But there's no driver?
Does my true appearance alarm you, human?
You are so fragile, little human. I could end your life in a heartbeat.
You're like Vastra.
Vastra is filled with artifice and affectation. I am Vela. I am nothing like your madam.
A high level of negative chronons.
Negative chronons?
Yes.
Are they worse than the ordinary kind? They sounded.
Big Finish. We love stories.
More tea.
Tea is an abomination. And do not threaten me with muffins.
On Saturday the 31st of August 2019, Hooverville returns. The Derby Quad brings us the best Little Doctor Who convention in the world. Guests announced so far include Ingrid Oliver, Osgood, Sophia Miles, Madame Pompadour, the girl in the fireplace, Nabil Shaban, who played Syl, Christopher Ryan, Lord Kiv in Mind Warp, and General Stahl in the Sontaran Stratagem. Edward Russell, former Doctor Who brand manager. Rob Ritchie, 3D animator on the Macra Terror. Keith Barnfather from Real Time Pictures. Chris Chapman, Doctor Who VAM producer, James Burgess, model maker on Mission to the Own remake, and there are sponsored guests including Michael E. Bride, director, and Simon Fisher-Becker, who played Dorian Maltivar. There are still guests to be announced, and some of them are pretty impressive. So get yourself over to the Derby Quad website and book yourself a ticket for Saturday the 31st of August 2019. See you there.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.